TGIF, Miss Bonnie. I'm not too much for texting. My fingers are too big and the keyboard's so small. And my mind outruns my fingers, so it's always easier for me to. I can say in 5 seconds what it takes me a minute to say. Anyway, let's see. Avidly involved in VBS? No, not really, because I'm more like theming children's ministry centers and working in children's ministry, but somebody that I'm sitting beside helps out with VBS, don't you?
Hi,
Yeah, who you going to be helping this year?
Kathy.
Kathy with
Sixth graders and up.
sixth graders and up. All right, but yeah, I love to VBS if I just had the time to deal with it. But with my schedule with Annika here, I don't get off till about 7:30 every night, and it's kind of difficult to do much and in that area. But let's see, I'm looking over here and reading, and y'all are avid railroad enthusiasts. Who does your family work with?
What do you mean?
What did Pape retire from?
Railroad?
He retired from the railroad. And then Uncle Moose, what does he do?
Railroad.
He works with the railroad too. And he takes care of the tracks, welding the tracks, replacing tracks and stuff like that. But her Pape, her granddaddy, was a conductor, and he rode in the caboose a lot. And then he was also up in the engine as one of the engineers. So he worked with them for years and years and years and years and years. And so his ringtone is a train whistle. So we have I've learned a lot about trains and stuff like that from just working around Annika and being around the family. Let's see, let me scoot on down. You wouldn't make a good pastor. I was raised Baptist and married funny thing happened to me, and I started going to a Pentecostal church. It was a charismatic Baptist church. And then I married a Assemblies of God girl, and it was a God thing. We wound up in the Church of God, and that's where we go now. But I love all denominations. I have a lot of problems with Catholicism, but the things that they teach and stuff like that. But I know a lot of good godly Catholics as well. With that in mind, I remember I used to play drums for a gospel group, and it was made up of Baptist, Methodist, and Pentecostal holiness. And I remember the first time I went to a Pentecostal church, I was really disappointed because nobody was hanging from the chandeliers or hollering in tongues or anything like that, and I was left disappointed. But anyway, there's a lot of good people in all denominations, and but yeah, I currently belong to the Church of God up here in Tennessee, and actually the Cleveland, Tennessee is the world headquarters for the Church of God, and it's also the world headquarters for the Church of God of Prophecy. And then the Church of God of Prophecy had a split, and the splinter group has their offices in Cleveland as well. They're called the Church of God. Kind of original, I thought. Yeah. Anyway, you play instruments. I played the drums. That's how I met my wife. I was playing drums in a Christian rock group, and she came out to hear us play at the King's Inn Coffee House in Picayune, Mississippi, and she immediately fell in love. But the bad thing, why are you laughing?
I know the whole story.
You
so-
know the whole story, Smarty Britches. We were up there playing and singing, ministering, and she immediately fell in love. But she fell in love with the lead guitar player, and I played the drums. So, but I wound up with her anyhow. And let's see, talking about Perry Stone. Perry Stone is one of the greatest guys you'd ever want to meet in your life. And we live about a mile from the Voice of Evangelism, his ministry center. And when I go there, they treat me like I'm made out of gold. And they are the greatest people for paying. I'll go see Charlie, that's Perry's right-hand man, and they'll want me to build something. He'll ask me, if I need some money. And I'll say, well, I could use a deposit, buy materials and stuff. And before I can get out of there, he'll ask me 2 or 3 times, are you sure that's enough? Are you sure that's enough? And they are just tremendous people there. And Perry, what you see on TV is what you get. He's the same off camera as he is on camera. And he's got so much going on. Halfway houses, drug halfway houses and stuff like that people don't even know about. And he has OCI, which is the Omega Center International. And spam. Sorry about that. Crazy, I get these spam calls all day long. But anyway, yeah, there have been some issues. I really, knowing Perry and the ministry and everything, I cannot for the life of me believe that anything these things are true, but it's certainly not like Jimmy Swaggart or Jim Baker or some of these others. So anyway, back to the drums. I see you play the alto sax and sing, and sometimes I sing, but Annika always requests that I sing a hymn on a hill far away, far, far away, and she says that singing is not my forte. And yes, I spent over 20 years in the emergency room, specialty in emergency room medicine, but I'm slowing down some, and for the last 10 years I've been, 9 years to be
That's
exact.
been signed, no? That's not been signed yet?
No, because you were 9 at the time, now
Yeah.
you're 18, and that was in 2013. Next year will be 2023, that'd be 10 years. But I didn't want to be here as a 50-something-year-old man with a 9-year-old girl by herself, but I said, okay, they kept begging me to come, so I said, okay, I'll go for one day. And I went, and it was a great day. This little rascal, I fell in love with her, and we laughed and laughed and laughed, and so I said, okay, I'll come back tomorrow. And then, okay, I'll come back tomorrow, and now it's been over 9 years. And we've kind of bonded. She's a goober head, but I love her. She's quite a young lady. Anyway, and let's see, yeah, if we don't get the kids, we'll probably lose them. That's the children's ministry. I love the children's ministry. And, I don't like a lot of, gimmicks and stuff like that, like a lot of churches have. But I can understand it because the children's ministry, that's a bit different because kids love to go to Disneyland, Disney World and stuff like that. And I love to theme children's ministry centers in that fashion to draw the kids, because you can't minister to them if they're not there. And we like to put as much of the wow factor in there as possible, so that the kids will like to come and be interested. And so we like to do a lot of wild and crazy over the top stuff to get the kids in there and minister to them. Let's see, God Bless Your Mom. And sorry that you weren't able to have children. I've got two of them, and I'll make a good deal on them. But they're grown, but they're wonderful. But my daughter, oh my gosh, she was Alice in Wonderland in Disney World. How many?
9.5.
Oh my gosh, 10 minutes long. I'm gonna have to chop this up in bites. I may have to. I'll just put it on YouTube and send you a private message. Anyway, she was Alice in Wonderland at Disney World for 6.5 years and did a great job. She met a lot of wonderful people. Then she left there, went seasonal, and went to Nashville, went to photography school, got an associate's degree in photography, and she is a great photographer. And then she moved to Pennsylvania to be a magician's assistant for a couple of years. And now she's back at home. She's never been married, but she takes great pride in being a 34-year-old virgin, and she's hardcore. She and my son both, they really are sticklers on their, their testimony and convictions. That's what the word I was looking for. And but now she's a 911 dispatcher and doing a great job, and she's doing that and her photography together. But she's quite a girl. Anyway, let's see. You said something about me taking down your Florida Gator thing. If I did, it was an accident or a mistake. So anyway, I don't remember seeing it, and if I did take it down, it was a fluke. But yeah, I used to. I never did like football. I wouldn't care if every football on the planet was deflated and burned. But after becoming a daddy, my son liked it, and so I started learning about it to do something with him. And of course, his love for football was pretty contagious, and I love. If you're gonna support a team, make it the best. And Alabama's the best. They got more national championship trophies than anybody. I don't even remember now. It's 18 or 19. I don't know. I think the next team in line is Michigan. I think they have 11. So Alabama is far above everybody as far as national championships and SEC championships. Not to belittle the Gators, I like them too. And actually, we have a Tennessee girl here.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. You're not a Volunteers fan, huh? But they have. She lives here on a Centennial Farm. It's about a 500-acre farm, and right up the road they've got a dairy. The Mason clan has this dairy. They just invested about $1 million in it. It's completely computerized. It is amazing. And right out in front of the dairy, they have a log cabin that's about 200 years old. And we'll go up there sometimes, sit on the front porch, and have a picnic. But it's the real deal. It is a real log cabin. And but anyway, her family also has a house down in Florida. Does that make you a Florida Gators fan? Anyway, her mammy, her grandmother, just left this morning, flying down to their house in Florida. And Miss Press here, she likes to go down there. Why didn't you go?
I don't want to go right now.
You don't want to go right now. Why, is it too hot?
Right now, yes.
Okay. So anyway, Pape was down there. They were just down there about a month ago, and then Pape came back home, and Mammy stayed down there for another 2 weeks. And So anyway, I know you're getting tired of hearing me run my mouth and stuff. Anything else here? Yeah, like I said, I was raised Southern Baptist, and I'll always be a Pentecostal Baptist. Um, um, and a lot of people are King James only folks, but I like all the different versions. And had it not been for the Living Bible, I don't know if I would still. I'd still be a Christian, certainly, but I don't know how strong of a Christian I'd be, because I couldn't understand the King James, a lot of it, such as Psalms 23, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." And to me, it sounded like it was saying, Jesus is my shepherd, but I don't want him. But I didn't know what that meant. And the girl I was dating at the time, she gave me, for Christmas, she gave me a Living Bible. And it says, because the Lord is my shepherd, I have everything that I need. And then this big light bulb went off of my head. And if the King James had said, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want for any good thing, I would have understood it. So thank God for the Living Bible and these paraphrases and not translations, but paraphrases and all. And so I love them, but I love the poetic speech in the King James Version. But there's a lot of Bibles, a lot of versions that simplify it and make it a lot more understanding. For example, I think it was in the Book of Kings or something, one of the kings, it said that the servants couldn't find him. He was gone somewhere, and it said that he had lowered his robe in the summer chamber, and he passed away. The servants found him dead. And, I didn't know what that meant, but the Living Bible said he went to the bathroom. He lowered his robe in the summer chamber, in the outhouse, and he died while he was sitting out there. So I had a big laugh over that, because it explained it in no uncertain terms what it was talking about. So yeah, I agree with you with the different things. And thank you very much for your phone numbers and everything. I would love to talk to you over the phone or in person, because it's so much easier just for me to run my mouth instead of getting these big fingers to do stuff on little keyboards. And I don't have much time to do anything, because Miss Sassy Pants over here keeps me so busy. What kind of look is that? Oh, excuse me, not Sassy Pants, Sassy Britches. Okay, that's better. So anyway, I guess this is running on so long, I'm going to have to, I didn't mean for it to be this long, but I'm going to have to load it up to YouTube, so I can send you a link to it so you can listen to it if you want to. But if not, nobody listens to me anyway. Do they? Do you? I see you smiling. You're not saying anything though. Anyway, I've enjoyed talking to you, and thank you very much for pouring out your heart to me. You sound like an open book, and that's greatly appreciated. More people need to do that and be that way. So if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll let her answer them, because she's good about doing that. Well, she's good about telling me what to do anyway. And what do you want me to do today?
You're going down.
I'm not. Oh gosh. She says I'm going down. She cheats like a dog when it comes to Yahtzee, but I can take her down any time of the day, and sorry. And I don't know how she does it, because she had some strokes and it left her blind, and she still cheats, and I don't know how she does it with the dice. I hadn't figured that out yet. But little Missy, Prissy Pants, Sassy Pants, Sassy Britches, you going down. And yes, I've got a witness over here. Miss Bonnie's a witness. So
Nurse Bonnie.
I'll let you go
Love
and
you.
yeah, goodbye. We love you.
Love you, Nurse Bonnie.
This isn't Nurse Bonnie.
look.
This is my friend Bonnie
the bug on.
Parker.
Whoever it is.
Huh?
Whoever it is.
You thought I was talking to
I know, that's why.
Nurse Bonnie this whole time?
No, I just didn't know you didn't say.
Oh, this is Miss Bonnie Parker down in parts unknown.
Hi.
I guess you still live down around Baldwin County. I hadn't even looked to see. I assume that everybody's from down that way, and I used to be. I'm a Robertsdalian.
Yeah.
And I miss it down there. But I love it up here in Tennessee. This is a nice place to be. No state income tax. No matter what you drive, whether it's a Lamborghini, 2002 Lamborghini, or a 1963 Volkswagen Beetle, your car tag is only $29 a year, period. And they have the state lottery here, and they actually do what they say they're going to do with the lottery money. If you have good grades in high school, then if you keep up your grades your first 2 years, I think, in the community college, you can go for free as long as you keep your grades up. And I think that is wonderful. So anyway, we have Dollywood. We've got all kind of stuff. We've even got a log cabin up here, for goodness sake. And you can't see it, but she's got a swimming pool in the house. Right there, you can see it right there.
Kinda.
Right there, part of it. But yeah, this is a poor little rich girl. And we have swimming pools in our houses up here. Some people do, I don't. But anyway, we'll let you go. Take care. Love you. Have a good day. Bye-bye. Anything you want to say?
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.